You walked past a mirror this morning and something stopped you. Not anything you could name. Just something. And you've been wearing your hair this way for years. That's the part nobody tells you about pixie cuts after 60. The problem isn't always visible all at once. It builds. It sits there quietly, adding years to a face that deserves so much better. You are someone who pays attention. You care about how you show up. You are not the woman who stopped trying. You are the exact opposite. And that is why this particular detail is still nagging at you. Every morning, one of these 4 mistakes is quietly working against the bone structure you were born with. And the most alarming part? Most women make all 4 without ever being told. And a stylist I spoke to said the third one is the hardest habit to break once it's locked in. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work immediately. Today we're covering 4 pixie cut mistakes women over 60 should avoid. And by part 2, you are going to want to stop the video and call your stylist. I mean it. Part 1 opens with the mistake I see on almost every woman over 60 who sits in a salon chair. Part 2 carries the fix so simple it almost feels unfair. Part 3 holds the one nobody talks about. And Part 4 wraps with the swap that changes how your entire face reads on camera. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1, Mistake 1. The too tight crop. There is a moment most women over 60 don't realize is happening. They ask for the pixie. The stylist delivers it. And it looks fine. For about 3 weeks. Then the grow out begins. And somewhere in that process the instruction becomes, just keep it tight. Clean it up. Keep it close. And that is where everything quietly starts to go wrong. Have you ever noticed that the tighter the cut gets, the more tired your face seems to look? That feeling has a name. It is called proportion collapse. And it is the #1 pixie mistake I see on women over 60, no exceptions. Here is the aging statement nobody says out loud. When a pixie is cut too close to the head with no shape, no volume, and no movement, it removes the soft frame that your face has relied on for decades. And without that frame, the eye goes directly and only to the jawline, the neck, and the hollows beneath the cheekbones. That single choice can read as 4 to 6 additional years in any light. Not because you look older, because the geometry of the cut is pulling the eye in the wrong direction. This is the one a friend of mine heard and immediately texted me at 11 at night. Why did nobody tell me sooner? Here is why this mistake is so common. And this is the insight most stylists never think to explain. When hair grows out between appointments, the natural instinct is to book a cut and ask to go back to the beginning. Back to clean. Back to short. But short without shape is not the same thing. The tightest crop removes all the visual tools that make a pixie work for your particular face. And for women over 60, those visual tools, the soft fringe, the side texture, the movement above the ears, are not decorative. They are structural. So here is your first fix. At your next appointment, instead of saying clean it up, say this. Give me a pixie with movement above the ear and soft texture on top. Those 6 words change the entire conversation. They redirect the cut away from flat and close, and toward shaped and lifted. A pixie should not hug your skull. It should sit slightly away from it, just enough to create volume at the crown, lightness at the temple, and a softness near the jaw that brings the eye upward. Upward is everything. The direction of the eye's travel is the entire game. If you have been going tighter every appointment, the swap is this. Trade the close-shaved nape for a soft, tapered nape. Trade the flat crown for a crown with a slight lift, even just a 1/4 inch of volume. That 1/4 inch is not a small thing. It is the difference between a cut that ages you and a cut that frames you. Maintenance tip. Ask your stylist to leave a fraction more length on top at every visit. Even when your instinct says to go shorter. Trust the fraction. It pays back every single day. What is coming up in the next part might be even harder to hear, because it is the mistake most women are making without touching their cut at all. Part 2, Mistake 2. The wrong parting line. Most women think the parting is a small decision. A default. Something to redo when the hair is wet, and then forget about. Here is a bold, uncomfortable truth. The parting line in a pixie cut is not a small decision. It is the single biggest frame control tool you have, and most women over 60 are using it backwards. You have been choosing your parting the same way since you were 40. Maybe longer. You know where it falls naturally and you go there automatically. And that automatic choice? It is secretly working against your bone structure every day. And you deserve to know that. Here is the specific aging damage this mistake delivers. A center part on a pixie cut after 60 divides the face into two equal halves, which flattens the visual lift at the temples, brings the eye to the center of the face, and creates a visual downward pull that reads as heaviness at the jaw. It can add 3 to 5 years to your face in under a second. That is how fast the eye processes proportion. This is the one that almost feels too simple, which is exactly why it matters so much. The reason this mistake goes uncorrected for so long is surprisingly specific. Center parts are familiar. They feel balanced. They feel tidy. And tidy, for many women, became a habit in the era before we understood what asymmetry does for the mature face. The brain reads symmetry as stillness. It reads asymmetry as movement. And movement, visual movement, is what makes a face look alive, energized, and youthful. So here are your fixes. First fix, move your part 1 inch to the side. 1 inch. That is the entire instruction. Sweep it to one side and do not center it again. The instant you do this, you will see what it does to your temple, your cheekbone, and the way your eyes read. The eye now travels diagonally instead of straight down. And diagonal is your best friend. Second fix. Ask your stylist to cut your pixie with a slightly asymmetrical shape at the front. Longer on one side, just a touch, just enough that the sweep has somewhere natural to go. You are not changing the entire cut. You are changing the angle of the frame. Third fix. Add a single wave of product, a light hold styling cream no larger than a grape, and sweep the front across your forehead rather than back from it. Across the forehead creates horizontal visual energy. Back from the forehead creates vertical pull. Vertical pull is the direction you are trying to reverse. Write this one down. The swap. Trade center divided for side swept. Trade flat back for swept forward. Trade symmetry for intentional softness. These are not 3 changes. They are one shift in thinking applied 3 ways. Maintenance tip. Once a week, dampen the front section and practice the sweep before it dries. It trains the hair to fall that direction naturally within 2 weeks. You will stop fighting it. Coming up next, the part most women find surprising. Because the third mistake has nothing to do with how the cut is shaped. It has to do with something that happens after you leave the salon. Part 3, Mistake 3. Neglecting the nape and side texture. Let me tell you something I watched happen in a salon last spring. A woman came in, incredible cheekbones, perfect posture, the kind of silver hair that photographers dream about. She sat down and said, "Just clean up the sides. Leave the top. I like the top." The stylist cleaned up the sides. And in 30 seconds, everything the top was doing got erased. Because the sides and nape are not just the background of a pixie cut. They are the entire foundation. Have you ever wondered why your pixie looks perfect in the salon, and then loses something within days? It is not your styling. It is what was left behind, or rather what was taken away, at the sides and nape. And what gets left behind there is quietly adding years you did not agree to carry. Here is the aging truth most women never hear. When the side panels of a pixie cut are left blunt, unblended, or untextured, they create a visual weight at the widest point of the head, right beside the ear and cheekbone. And that visual weight broadens the face, flattens the profile, and creates a heaviness that no amount of product will fix. Blunt sides on a pixie after 60 can add a full 5 years to your face in a side profile. That is not a style opinion. That is geometry. This is the one most women have been quietly fighting without knowing they were fighting it. Here is why it happens so often. And this is the insight that changes everything. Most women tell their stylists what to do to the top. Very few give specific instructions about the sides. The sides get cleaned up by default, meaning the stylist removes bulk in the fastest way, which is a straight across cut. Straight across is not texturized. Straight across is not feathered. Straight across gives you weight where you need lightness. The fix starts with one sentence at your next appointment. Texture the sides and point cut the nape. Point cutting means the scissors enter the hair at an angle, creating feathered ends that catch light and create movement rather than a heavy horizontal line. It takes 90 extra seconds. It changes the profile completely. Second fix. When styling at home, use a small amount of a light pomade or styling wax, a small pea-sized amount, and work it through the side sections with your fingertips. Separate the side hair into 3 or 4 soft sections. Do not smooth it. Separate it. Separated texture at the sides visually narrows the face, lifts the cheekbone, and creates the impression of movement even when you are standing still. Third fix. Ask your stylist to taper the nape upward in a soft curve rather than cutting it straight across. A curved nape taper elongates the neck, which elongates the jawline, which reads as slimmer and younger from every angle. The swap. Trade blunt sides for point-cut feathered sides. Trade a straight nape for a curved nape taper. Trade smooth side sections for intentionally separated texture. None of these are dramatic changes. Every single one of them is a compounding gift to your bone structure. Maintenance tip. Every 2 to 3 weeks, go in just for a nape and side cleanup, even if the top is fine. The sides and nape grow faster than the top, and letting them go blunt even for a few weeks undoes all the texture work. A quick 10-minute cleanup is worth more than a full cut once a month. There is one thing about the fourth mistake that nobody in this space talks about plainly. That is next. Part 4, Mistake 4, Ignoring the eyebrow-to-hair frame ratio. Nobody talks about this one. Not openly. Not in the way it deserves. The fourth mistake women over 60 make with a pixie cut is not about the cut itself. It is about what sits beneath the cut, and how those two things are either working together or quietly canceling each other out. Your eyebrows and your pixie cut are in a relationship. Every single day, whether you know it or not. And when that relationship is out of balance, when one is doing all the heavy lifting while the other disappears, your face loses the architecture it needs to look awake, lifted, and naturally youthful. This specific imbalance is aging your features in a way that products cannot fix and no haircut adjustment will solve, because it is not a haircut problem. It is a frame ratio problem. And when the hair frame shrinks with a pixie and the brow frame is not adjusted to match, the eye area goes flat, the forehead reads as heavy, and the middle of your face seems to lose its definition. That loss can quietly add 5 years to how your face reads in any light. Most women have been doing their eyebrows the same way since their 50s. You have a method, a shape, a pencil you trust. And I want to say this with all the care in the world. What worked with longer hair does not always work with a pixie. The rules change when the frame changes. Here is the insight that changes the way you look at this forever. A longer hairstyle creates vertical and horizontal visual frame around the face. The eye has much to travel across. The brows are one element among many. A pixie cut removes most of that frame. The eye now has almost nothing to look at except the brows, the eyes themselves, and the structure between them. Those 3 things are now doing the work of everything the hair used to do. Your brows, in a pixie, are no longer an accent. They are a structural load-bearing feature of your entire appearance. That is not an exaggeration. That is what happens when you remove the frame. So here are your fixes. First fix. Thicken your brow shape by 1 visible step from where it currently sits. Not dramatic. Not drawn on. 1 visible step thicker at the arch. Use a hairstroke brow pencil, not a wax pencil, not a powder alone, and draw in short, upward strokes that mimic the direction of your natural brow hairs. The result is a brow that reads as full, real, and defined without looking heavy or overdone. Second fix. Extend the tail of your brow by approximately 2 to 3 millimeters past where it naturally ends. The tail extension lifts the outer corner of the eye visually. Lifted outer corner means lifted cheekbone. Lifted cheekbone means reduced visual weight at the jaw. 2 millimeters. That is the size of the shift. That is how much it matters. Third fix. Brush your brows upward before filling them in. Not sideways. Upward. Upward brushed brows create a vertical lift at the center of the face, which counters the flatness that an overtight pixie often creates. The swap. Trade thin, flat, faded brows for defined, hairstroke, slightly arched brows with an extended tail. Trade sideways swept brows for upward brushed ones. Trade the brow shape you have had since 50 for one that is recalibrated for the frame your pixie creates. Maintenance tip. Every 4 to 6 weeks, have your brows professionally shaped. not threaded to thinness but mapped to fullness. Ask for a brow map that respects your natural arch and simply refines the stragglers. This single appointment keeps your pixie to brow ratio in the right balance continuously. You have done the work in this video that most women never get the chance to do with information this specific. The fourth mistake? Almost no one in the beauty space addresses it directly. You just heard it plainly. And that changes what you will do tomorrow morning. You just learned the 4 pixie cut mistakes that most women over 60 spend years navigating alone. The too tight crop, the wrong parting line, the blunt side and nape texture, and the brow to hair frame ratio that nobody addresses directly. You have that knowledge now. All of it. In one sitting. Boom. Your bone structure was always this stunning. Now you know exactly how to show it. Tell me in the comments. Which of these 4 mistakes were you making without knowing it? I read every single one. Next time, we are getting into the one accessory mistake that adds 10 years overnight, and it is not what you would expect. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I will see you in the next one.